right, I'm sat here with Alan Toweel, and you've had a lot of activity lately, a lot of boxers that have been in the ring, and a lot of boxers that are going to get in the ring again. How's everything going?
Everything's going good. We've had a good month, September, and I'm happy with the progress of our gym at the moment.
Well, let's start off with the most recent activity, which is Jeff Magagane becoming an SA champion, and people at home will also watch his interview with that I did with him. He's so happy to be the SA champion, like it means the world.
Absolutely. Jeff's been with me for 7 years, and he's had his ups and downs. It's been a tough 7 years, But the last 14 months, a different Jeff has been coming to my gym, because I had a good talk with him, and say, wake up, he's a talented boy, but talent doesn't get you anywhere. If you're not disciplined and conscientious and persevere, And since that Maduna fight, the one that we lost on a split decision in Durban, his whole mind frame has changed, And the value of the importance of an SA title, I ingrained it in him that it's such a big thing. It opens doors for everything. Once you get an SA title, then you're there, then you can start developing yourself, have a few defenses, and then you can start thinking international. So coming to Sunday's fight, he put up an excellent performance. It was the Jeff that I've been waiting for the last 3-4 years, He didn't play around, he was focused. From round 1 to round 12, he dominated. He never went wild, he never wasn't overly aggressive, but he kept his distance well, and he hurt Sunday to such an extent which I think at one stage he could have stopped him, But he wanted to obviously pace himself, because it's a big thing winning this title. So I'm very proud of him, and he's done exceptionally well. I'm over the moon for him,
I think we were talking about a year or two ago, and you said that Jeff is so talented, like if he just put his mind to it, he could literally win all these belts and become a champion. And that's coming into fruition now, so long as he keeps consistent with his performances. But let's keep on the SA title track. Bangile Nyangane, that's just before this one, retained his belt as well. I interviewed him after and said, hey, Bangile, would you like an international fight? He's like, I'm going to sit down with my team, but yes, I do want to be a fight in international fights. What's your thoughts on him and his career now?
Bangili is also progressing beautifully. He boxed beautifully the other night. And someone said to me, he should have knocked him out. No. He enjoyed his fight. He boxed. He almost did. He dropped the guy in the beginning, but he paced himself well. And he was so technical. And he's such a classy fighter, With him, I would like to, what I really want to like next is the IBO. Ayanda Ndulani and Bangile. That would be a great, same record. Put them together. That would be a great fight to put together, And I think if we can sell that fight, we've got a good fight ahead of us, So with Bangili or IBF Africa or some other, because he's rated high in the ratings. He's rated number 7 in the WBA, number 9 in the IBF. I think he's number 15 in the WBC, 13 in the WBO, So international, cool. One more local guy, Ayanda Ndulani, IBO. Let's put that together. With no strings attached. Because, you get these guys coming, on condition you sign, boom, boom. No, come on. You want a good fight. You want to sell a good fight. Give them their due in compensation and put that fight together. It will be a big draw.
And Bangile as well in that fight is going to be a competitive fight. Obviously, two good South African fighters. After that, international?
Definitely. We must go that route, But like I said, let's take one step at a time. He deserves it. He's also a workaholic, committed to the sport. He's sensible. He thinks he's wise. So his mind is on the right track to even going beyond international, to even a world title fight eventually. I really believe that.
Okay, let's keep on the SA title track then, because then we had Chifio, the atomic spider, Munyai, having to relinquish his title to Lusanda Komanisi. Your thoughts on that evening? Because I know there was a lot of controversy on social media and also on the night.
Sure. I watched that fight 3 times, 4 times over. And, I listened to some people who were saying, Chifio gave away the first 4 rounds. He did not. Look at the first round and look at it very carefully. Chifio won the first round. So if those first 4 rounds were his worst rounds, he won the first round. Maybe the second, third round, I give it to Komanisi. Then look at the 4th round. Then Chifio drops him in the 6th round. Then he follows up in the 7th round, punishing him. The last three rounds, I think, 9, 10, 11, 12. Who was hanging on? He hurt Komanisi. When Komanisi threw punches at him, maybe the judges didn't see that. When he would catch the punches on his shoulder, on his arms, turn his head. That's defense. So he outshone him in defense, in aggression, in the way in amount of punches that he threw at him, the number of punches. There's no way he lost that fight. Komanisi, after the fight, he admitted he said it was a draw. Okay, now he's saying, you rewatched it 4 times, etc. It's fine. He came to my dressing room. Coach, your boy did not lose. Coach, your boy hurt me. I was hurt in those last rounds. So it was it's heartbreaking. That was a heartbreaking result for us, because Jeffy was also at the end of not at the end of his career, he's 37. I think he's far from finished, because I always liken him to Sugarboy Malinga, who won the world title at the age of 40. So, and I think he's got those tools. So I'm hoping for a rematch. In actual fact, Rodney Berman, straight after the fight, he said to me, he'll give us a rematch. He announced it, and I have faith in him as a promoter. Because you don't say things like that just for the sake of saying it, So I believe that rematch is going to happen. And I've also put in an appeal with BSA, and I believe fairness will prevail.
And if that doesn't materialize, what's to come after that?
What is the next big fight in South Africa? Chiafiva Munyai against Nomeva.
Sure.
That's the fight. If you want to talk about a good fight, we're prepared to fight him.
And you're prepared to move up in weight as well, because Nomeva's at another weight now.
Absolutely. We can fight. In actual fact, he's very strong at junior welter, Chiafiva. So that will be our next fight that we want to push, Because before I would say, no, just hang on. Chiafiva Munyai against Nomeva, it will be a great matchup. It will be a sellout. That's a fight people want to see.
And I mean, that's another big fight as well, because we mentioned that they also used to spar back in the days, many rounds together, so they would know a little bit about each other now. But I mean, to put it on for the public that haven't seen that before, they don't know what happened back then.
100%. You have 2 stylish fighters, 2 experienced fighters, 2 former world champions. I mean, what more do you want? If you want another great fight in South Africa and you want to bring back boxing, put that fight together, and then we'll see.
As they say, local is lacquer, so they want the biggest fights possible. I mean, that's a nice fight that you just mentioned there. Obviously, that's plan B with regards to the setup, because Komanisi would like to do that rematch first. But moving on from that as well, you got a bunch of other fighters that are on the up-and-coming scene. What's to happen with those guys?
Before I talk about the other up-and-coming boys, I want to speak about Refiwe Nemeshungwa.
Okay.
Now, Refiwe lost on a split decision to Ronald Malindi. Now, Ronald's an exceptional fighter, 18-0. A fight that I thought Refiwe won. And I stand by that. Nothing against Ronald, because I respect him as a champion and as a fighter. So as a result of that loss on a split decision, he went from number, I think, 107 to 44 on BoxRec. That's a big jump. So now he's in a fight for a WBA Pan-African. It's a small regional title, but it's something. Yeah. Because of his good performance he put against Ronald. So I've got faith in that boy. He wins, he can go up in the rating, you never know. Not every fighter is going to be a world champion. But at least they can start making a bit of money for themselves, win these small titles, and they are stepping stones to bigger things.
Sure. So what of that rematch? Is it going to happen?
Well, at the moment, no. I think Ronald's going to fight. He's got other plans. Refiwe's got other plans. Let's work him back to number 1 again. Then we can talk. I'm actually surprised that Ronald hasn't moved to international status now, because he's won. He's had so many title defenses here, So let's see what happens in about 6 to 8 months' time.
All right, so that could happen again in the future, but obviously you got to take care of business as well for your next fights. Okay, what of the youngsters?
Okay, I got Atinkosi Plaatjes, a junior middleweight, and I've got the cruiserweight Toweel Vieja. Up-and-coming boys, and I stress they're up-and-coming boys. Am I excited about them? No. I'm not going to be excited about any new up-and-coming boy or fighter for that matter. They have to prove themselves. I find that in the past I've been bitten by pushing my fighters, promoting them, boom, and then suddenly they duck or something happens, the loyalty is not there. So I want to see their progress. And let's take it fight by fight, you know. I think Toweel has got potential, and I think so has Atankosi. But they still got to prove themselves. They're still babies in this whole boxing arena, you know. Yeah. And once they win a title, like an SA title, then we can start getting a bit more excited about them. But for now, they're still learning and they're still being groomed.
You mentioned putting them on and, you know, giving them opportunities, and, you know, with your own promotion as well that your sister promotes. What's happening with that? Because we haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, you know, the last time we promoted was on the 15th of March 2020, the day before COVID. You know, we had to close everything. And in all fairness, a week, actually 10 days before the fight, 2 sponsors pulled out. So my sister took out a loan, 180,000 rand. For us, it's a lot of money. Because I didn't want to, I said to her, we cannot cancel this tournament. Thank God Chifuyu won the SA title. We had other guys on the bull. Even Reino was on that bull. And Reino, he asked me, contacted me to put him on that bull just about 2-3 weeks before the fight. And I said, I don't have the funds. He said he'll pay for his own fight. He even paid for his own fight. But at the end of that fight, we were down 180 grand. It's a lot of money. And that hit us a bit. So we just backed off a bit. You know, COVID came in, and then all the COVID rules with respect to promoting. But I'm hopefully next year, Marianne will start the process again. You know? And yeah, get the Begari going again, even if it's on a small scale. But I can tell you what, with those promotions, those small promotions, it helped elevate my boys. It helped elevate them. Jeff's a SA champion. Bangile fought on there. Chefiwe fought on there. Refiwe fought on there. You know? And yeah, so we're on that track. Yeah. Hopefully next year.
Right, so I don't know if I've left anything out? Is there any fighters that I've left out?
The only one we left out probably is the heavyweight, Willem.
Yeah, what's happening with him?
He's coming back.
When?
He's in training now. Hopefully I can get him a fight within the next 2 months. Just a warm-up fight. I don't want to talk big. Let's see what happens. He's still a heavyweight. He's still young. So let's see what happens.
My assumptions as a heavyweight, he gets many offers to fight. And, you know, I'm assuming that people have already called him out, so knowing that he's still out there.
I've been contacted on various occasions. I've been contacted even for him to fight Josh again. But I said, no. You know, let me get him a few easy wins, then we can go from there. Yeah.
All right. That's the thoughts of Alan Toweel. It's been a very busy last couple of months, and you're going to have a busy end of the year as well. I'm assuming there's going to be some more fights that pop up onto your radar. Any particular fights that you really, really want to get going?
I want the rematch between Munyai and Komanisi. I just want fairness to prevail. That's all. I don't want any favors. Fairness and transparency. And that's why I rely on Rodney Berman to make that happen. I want Bangili to fight for the IBO mini flyweight title. Him and Delani will be a great matchup. And if the second one of Munyai is Munyai and Nomeva. I also want to thank a few promoters here. Because I find that I have a good relationship with a whole lot of promoters out there. And I want to thank, for example, Jay for Joy, because they were promoting Chifuyu. And when I got an offer by Golden Gloves to fight Komanisi, I contacted Jay for Joy, Squire, and he was okay with it. You know, and they never said, "Oh, you're phoning for my promotion." They were okay. They said, "Alan, wish you luck. See how it goes." You know, that camaraderie. I would like to see more often happen more often. I would like to thank the Gauteng Boxing Promoters Association, Shireen Hunter, Bangles, TK. They gave Jeff an opportunity. He became SA champion. I would like to thank ESPN Africa, Safiso. Bangile is getting an opportunity to fight, defending his title. And last but not least, I'd like to thank Golden Gloves, Rodney Berman. He's given Chifuyu a good payday for this last fight. Chifuyu produced the goods. He produced the goods. It was a great fight, a great technical fight. I'd like to thank them also, you know. So I just feel that promoters should work closely with one another, you know. If a promoter's offered your fighter a better offer, then let him go, let him fight. He'll come back if he has to, you know. That kind of camaraderie needs to happen in boxing for boxing to grow in our country. So I want to thank them. I also want to thank trainers. You know, whenever I needed sparring, Geert Stradum, I would take my fighter team for sparring for Jeff, as an example. The guys from Botswana would come here and spar here. You know, I would go for Bangili for hot box gym, Colin Nathan. He had great sparring with Hickey, even the special one, Toweel. I mean, it's open relationships we have. I had great sparring going to Sean Smith's gym when Chifiri defended his title against Mboya. You know, so I want to thank those gyms for opening their doors for us. I'm going to thank even Top Box. They came over here when Chifiri fought his last fight. Dennis Mawala and his team, Shepard and Kristen. You know, I really appreciate for that openness that we have with each other as trainers. You know, if we can just keep that going, it's a pleasure. You know, and also obviously media like you constantly. The Sowetan, David Isaacson, you know, because without you guys, we aren't actually, no one knows us, you know. So I really appreciate that group of people that I mentioned now.
Thank you very much, Alan Toweel, and we'll see more of your boxers and yourself in action in the not too distant future.
Thank you.